One of the greatest moments of this chapter is when my boy Escanor is so prideful, he just rubs it in the face of Zeldris, Meliodas fans, and everybody that just love Meliodas and all that, basically saying, "What's with you brothers, you trio? I've had to put Meliodas in the ground, Estarossa in the ground, and now I'm gonna have to do you. It's time." And I'm just like, your man is going in. Like, holy crap, I love that. I freaking love that. And I sense a lot of fanboys clashing. I feel like this is gonna be very, controversial, very similar to the Meliodas, the Assault Mode Meliodas versus Escanor. And the reason why I say that is because Escanor has quite the track record. I mean, the man is literally, every opponent he's fought, he has won. He doesn't really have a loss. Yes, granted, if he didn't go into the one mode against Assault Mode Meliodas, he would have took a big L. But the point is that he did win at the end of the day when he entered the one mode. And so he is finally in that mode fighting Zeldris. And the question is, can he win? Now, we gotta look at everything that has already been established to this very point, okay? Number one, we know Assault Mode Meliodas beat the living crap out of Zeldris. And Zeldris, the power he has right now, is what technically he fought Meliodas with. You remember when Meliodas completely dominated Zeldris and just shoved him to the ground? Well, that Meliodas, beat Zeldris, which is the same Meliodas that lost to Escanor. So, if we put all of this together, it's very clear that at the end of the day, unless, once again, power scaling is a big issue and all that, and power levels, technically, the one mode from Escanor should completely dominate, Zeldris like it's nothing, at least until the one mode is up. Now, there's a lot of things I want to talk about when it comes to the one mode and what could potentially happen after this and all that, but just give me a moment. But everything that's been established so far, even though we know that Zeldris' power level is ridiculous, his ominous nebula and his full react is broken beyond repair, like holy crap, it's broken. At the same time, we know that the one mode, at least how it's been described, it's literally the incarnation of invincibility. I mean, it was even stated in this chapter once again that the one mode is literally invincibility incarnate. He is literally like a muscle bag. The man literally has abs of steel. You could grind meat on the man's body. That's how strong the one mode is. And so when you look at it, I just, even then, regardless if I'm an Escanor fanboy, just everything that's been established, I just do not think Escanor should go down while he's in the one mode. And once it ends, it's understandable. But while he's in that mode, at least from what's been established, he shouldn't go down. The only people I could say that could beat Escanor would be, let's say, the Demon King or, the Supreme Goddess. Those are the only two individuals I could see that could put Escanor down, unless it's Meliodas with the Demon King, being the next Demon King with the 5 commandments within him. That's the only way I could actually see, the one mode going down. But besides that, I think everybody in the room, regardless of how broken they are, I just don't think they really can compete with Escanor at this time, unless Chandler uses True Knight, which, once again, I'll get in that in a second. So anyways, let's talk about what this means right now for the story. Escanor, it's hyped that he's getting up and he's using the one mode, because we've only seen the one mode once, actually, ironically enough, but, I mean, he's finally using it. And the question everybody's having right now is, he's using it, which is cool, but it feels very early, because when you really look at the grand scheme of things, you see, he's just fighting Zeldris, and him using the one mode against Zeldris, and not even using it against Chandler, or using it against, Meliodas when he comes out, and to be the next Demon King, it feels very early for Escanor to be using this power, which basically sets up the potential L that Escanor is about to receive. And I've talked about this time and time again, even as an Escanor fanboy, everybody has to understand this, that there's going to be a time to when Escanor is going to take an L. He is going to lose. He is going to be defeated, and he's going to be crushed to the ground, and it's not going to be anything we can do about it. And the reason why, it's because it's to build up a certain character where Escanor just needs to lose, because he can't just be used as a walking plot device all the time. Even though he's a hype character and I love him, he does need to lose sometimes. It'll definitely give him some character development and see where his character will go after that point. But the thing is that if he is using the one mode so early, That means once it is done, even if he beats Zeldris, he still is going to have to worry about Chandler. He's still going to have to worry about Cusack. He's still going to have to worry about Meliodas. I mean, there's still a lot of things he has to deal with. Even if he beats Zeldris with this mode, it doesn't mean that the fight's over. There's just so much more left to do. Unless he could speed blitz Zeldris in like 5 seconds flat, honestly, he's not going to get a lot done with the one mode. Unless he just literally stomps him so quickly, it's over. But that's the point I'm getting at. Right now, it feels like even if he might be the incarnation of invincibility, he might not have enough time to be able to get everything done that needs to be done at this time. Now, let's get into what could be happening here and how Escanor's time could be technically extended. Now, I am not the one to come up with this. A couple of individuals have mentioned this to me on Twitter and also in the comments section of YouTube in the last chapter review I did. Some are saying, Chibi, what if Merlin used her power of infinity on Escanor and made it to where the man had infinity on the one mode? This is what a couple told me, and I was like, when you say it like that, it does make sense, because Merlin's ability, it is broken too, from what has been established. We know that Merlin's power of infinity, literally there's no stopping point, and which is why she's able to spam abilities like she is and make them so freaking ridiculous. And so when you think about it like that, there's a potential possibility if Merlin uses her infinity power on Escanor, he can literally have infinite the one mode and just go in and start fighting Zeldris. That means the man has no time limit whatsoever, unless Merlin stops the ability herself, which, like I said, that would be ridiculous. But we also gotta remember, this would obviously be at the cost of Escanor's life. Even though Escanor is literally the embodiment of invincibility, we do know that his body cannot take the grace. It's already been established that if a grace is inside of a human being, a vessel, it will slowly tear down their body. We've already seen Escanor earlier on in this arc puke up blood. So we do know that the man, at the very least, he does have a limit. He cannot just continuously spam the one mode. The fight with Meliodas really pushed him to his limit, and that will definitely come into play, especially if the infinity magic power from Merlin is applied to Escanor. So that is just a what if, but that's what I'm getting at. So even if he has infinite the one mode by Merlin, once he's finally out of it, he's gonna die. And, I mean, this is a likely possibility because, I mean, if Escanor does die, it makes sense, since technically we're in the final arc of the series. The series is going to be wrapping up next year around summer. I mean, character deaths, they're going to be common. We're reaching towards the end of the story, and so Nakaba-sensei can easily start writing characters out of the series and just getting rid of them. And what better way to really just have a true character death a part of our main cast than Escanor to take an L and die? Like, his only defeat is literally death itself. Think about it. Now, let's talk about Chandler. Now, Chandler, he mentions in this chapter that where have I seen this magic power before? Which is very obvious. It's from Mel, which, you know, Estarossa, all that, the original Grace of Sunshine, and he says he recognizes it, which is very interesting because this does prove that at one point in time, Mel and, you know, Chandler, they had a fight with each other. They were going at each other trying to win, which is probably an epic battle, because we know Chandler is like a perfect counter to someone like Escanor, or Sunshine, because he has True Night, which can make it completely night, and as you know, the Gray Sunshine gets its power from the sun, so if he can block out the sun, it technically counters the sun power from the Grace, so it would be a very interesting fight. It's literally night and day going at each other, and so I do like that confirmation, at the very least from Nakaba-sensei, that Chandler did fight, you know, Mel in the past. I'm very curious on how that was done, and I wonder if we'll ever get to see a glimpse of how that was done. So, anyways, let's also talk about what was going on with Rudisill. So, Rudisill, he takes a blow in this chapter. Gilthunder jumps in front to protect Margaret's body, obviously, and he gets thrown back. We don't really know exactly everything that happened to Gilthunder, if he's completely okay or not. That's not completely confirmed with this chapter, but we do get to find out a little bit more about Rudisill's mentality, his psyche, and what drives him to really hate demons so much. He got some very interesting characterization or development in this chapter. Ever since his character introduction, he has been a scummy individual. He is someone that has been proven to be time and time again a heinous person that kind of has a little bit of a god complex, thinking that he is better, at the very least the Goddess Clan's race is a lot better than any other race, like humans, giants and fairies. He feels like his race is very superior. And now, I'm not trying to say that Rudisill is probably 100% evil, but he is a bad guy, at least from what we've seen, the way he's painted. But we also got to remember from how the story started off, it was painting the demons as bad people, but we come to find out that they weren't really all that bad. And that's how kind of conflict really is. There's two sides of the same coin. Usually there's a bad side and a good side, and we do know that there's innocent civilians a part of the demon clan that was hunted down by the goddess clan. We know that there's probably innocent civilians of the goddess clan hunted down by the demon clan, vice versa. It's how conflict is. That's how war is, and it's always a nasty thing. It's one of the worst things that could ever happen, and I feel like there is some things about this chapter that do reveal that Rudisill, even though he has his problems, I'm not saying he's a good dude, there is some things that kind of justify his hatred. At the very least, he lost someone he truly loved. He probably lost his friends, his best friends, and he lost the love of his life. Now, from the panel, with the brief little flashback of Rudisill, it's not really clarified who he's holding. If it is, you can clarify in the comments below. But from what I'm assuming from the, little brief flashback when he was holding a person, I'm assuming that's his lover? Which would definitely show why he's fixated on Hindi so much, because he definitely is into dudes. If that really is not, a person I'm mistaking someone else for, and someone we don't really know, then it shows that Rudisill, it makes a lot of sense why he has a thing for Hindi, is because the man likes dudes. Makes sense. It really does. But, anyways, with all that being said, though, Rudisill, he gave up a lot of things because he lost a lot of things, and that's what turned him into what he is. So I do wonder if there could be some form of compromise to where he might try to calm down and try to make some form of peace with both sides. The Demon Clan and the Goddess Clan working together. Who really knows? But it definitely is a cycle of hatred that has built up amongst him and the other demons for a very long time. Now, anyways, let's also talk about the situation with Merlin. So Merlin gets hurt in this chapter. Obviously, Escanor defends her, and she's like, you know what, no more messing around, and she starts teleporting like crazy, basically trying to make sure everybody is safe, she's safe, and for Escanor can do what he wants to do. It shows once again how crazy powerful Merlin is, and it's the reason why Escanor respects her as much as he does. And I do wonder, once again, if she is using her magic ability, Infinity, on Escanor to be able to stop Zeldris. But I want to end it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.